Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Um, I wanted to start today's conversation about the condition that I've been dealing with since 2016. Um, so when I first started having symptoms, um, I didn't really know what it was. I kind of attributed it to being on strict bed rest. I had an advanced maternal age pregnancy, very traumatic pregnancy. Everything that I could have gotten diagnosed with, it's like I got diagnosed with the preeclampsia, gestational diabetes. Um, like I just had a lot of things that happened during that pregnancy, and I'll discuss that maybe in another video. But a fibromyalgia diagnosis came um, through a specialist, a rheumatologist, is when I got the diagnosis. But I gave him like all my symptoms. I'm like, I just feel so drained. I'm fatigued. I'm sore. I ache all over, and I would just cry. It was more so like the end of the day, I would start to feel like just drained, like someone had put like a socket like my ankle area, and then just all my energy just drained, and then I was filled back up with just immense pain, just achy pain, undescribable type of head to toe, like scalp to toenail type pain. A lot of people with fibromyalgia will tend to say things like, I just can't explain it, I just hurt, I'm just tired, and it really is unique to each individual. For me, the way I described it, because I've been dealing with it for some years now, is just feeling achy all over, a lot of back pain, upper lower, feeling the need to like stretch, and just just not feeling great. I kind of attribute it sometimes, for when I explain to people, it's like either the flu, having the flu like all over every day. Even I had a nurse tell me, you should tell people it's like having a toothache. Like, ask, because most people have had a toothache and they know how bad that feels. Um, and so I use that as an example. So from time to time, I'll say, it's like having a toothache. You know what a toothache feels like. It's like it won't let up. It's throbbing. Even if you take medication, you still kind of feel that same type of pain. But that's kind of like a few ways that I'll describe it, depending on like how I'm actually feeling. There's times when I don't even want to like talk. Like I have a hard time communicating. Um, there's different terms. I want to say, is it fibro fog? And even now, like just trying to think of the names that describe the things that people with fibromyalgia experience and endure. Um, Another theory that's it's called the spoon theory. So a lot of people with chronic pain, invisible illnesses, things like that, they refer to themselves as spoonies. So there's a spoon theory, and I definitely want to give credit, or I just can't think of the person who came up with this. But the spoon theory is that, like, say for instance, you get 7 spoons in a day. Some people do it as the week, but just in a day, just 7 spoons. So it takes 1 whole spoon to just to brush your teeth, wash your face, just to get yourself kind of going in the morning. That's 1 spoon. Then to fix yourself some breakfast, that's another spoon. And once all those spoons are gone, you're done. You're done for the day. You don't have the energy, the space, the mental space, head space to do anything. So that's kind of one thing. And I don't use it as much, but it is something that's kind of shared and relatable to people who are in the spoony, chronic pain, invisible illness community. But yeah, fibromyalgia has just, it has like really changed my life. It's really difficult to be active, and it's been really hard. And so I'm just on this page is more so of like sharing experiences, and me like looking through the comments to see what other people share that help them. Because everything changes. I noticed there's a lot of things that have helped me, and then all of a sudden they no longer help. Um, but I'm just at a point where it's like, I know they say there's no cure, but I'm like, I just can't give up. Like, even though I've been suffering for years, and other people that I know have suffered with the condition for years, it's like we're still tough, we're still pushing through. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Um, and so I hope that by me doing this and sharing my experience with it will help someone, and hopefully there's some things, some suggestions that will also be able to help me in moving forward and pushing forward, because it's so difficult. But it's important to definitely stay positive. When I first got diagnosed, people were like some of my friends and family were like, "Oh, you're just depressed all the time." And I'm like, "Well, I'm in pain all the time. What do you expect?" And I've had other relatives that are like on a positive um, side of it, like, don't claim that. The devil is a lie, and don't claim that condition. The more you speak it, the more you'll, So I've gone through stages where I've gotten up in the morning and I'll say things like, "I felt great." Like people who are kind of used to me complaining about, being in pain, being fatigued. "Oh, I didn't sleep. I tossed and turned all night." Well, I'll just like say or text or, let people know the opposite of what I was feeling or what I've gone through. Like, "Oh, I had the best sleep ever. I feel great. I feel so energetic. I'm definitely going to go for a walk today. I'm going to do this. I'm going to eat, healthy today, and so I can keep the momentum of these great feelings of needing no pain medication." And I'll say things like that, and I'll try to like close my eyes and meditate on how great I feel. But sometimes it it gets really bad to a point where it's like, what, I don't feel good. I don't feel well at all, and I'm gonna rest. I'm going to rest, and I'm not gonna feel bad for it. In the earlier, I don't even really say months. In the earlier years, when after my diagnosis, I was like trying to be positive, but it got to the point where it's like, okay, this isn't working either. But I also know that it takes time, and that I need to like continue to not only speak it, but to actually feel it, and have people around me like ask those people to like help me with, the positivity. Because some people, sometimes they'll say misery loves company. You'll have other people, "Oh, girl, I know how it is. I feel the same way." And I've had some people say, like, in the past, "Are you sure? Like, really? You really feel good today?" I'm like, yeah, definitely. But, yeah. Now that, like, in the more recent years of me dealing with, um, the ups and downs of fibromyalgia, um, it's kind of like you've been dealing with it so long, you're used to it. Not that it's good, like you're good, you're cool on it, but it's like, why speak on it sometimes? Because no one understands. And not only do a lot of people not understand, a lot of people don't care. It goes in one ear and out the other. Unless they're dealing with it, or they have a close relative or friend who's affected by it, people mostly don't. In my experience, I I see where a lot of people don't really care too much about what another individual is dealing with on a daily basis. They'll say things, "Oh, I'm sorry, I feel really bad for you. I'll definitely pray for you, keep you in prayer and whatnot." And it's all appreciated, definitely appreciated. But I just wish more people were aware of it and weren't so judgmental. When 2020 came about, I got like past the whole, I'm still human, so I still, get a little frustrated here and there, but I don't like cry anymore where I would like really just bawl like, why don't they understand, or why is this person not understanding that I'm really in pain every single day. Like, I wouldn't make this up. I wouldn't exaggerate this. Like, I want to live life like the next person and enjoy life and things that I used to enjoy doing without having to pay for it afterwards. I want to go out and go hike and dance and work out and do things without having to pay for it, because a lot of times people with fibromyalgia, and I don't want to say everyone because everyone experiences it differently, but a lot of fibro people that suffer with fibro, they tend to um, like have consequences for being too active, for having too much fun. Um, and when it's like we go through, I go through situations where I've been at rest in bed, resting, healing my body to get the energy I need. And so when I get that little bit, there's like so much that's been neglected. I'll go full throttle and like try to do everything at one time, which they call that fibromania. They have so many terms out there, from fibro fog, like forgetting your thoughts and saying the wrong thing that you don't really mean to say. Um, but yeah, it's been quite a journey, and I'm definitely going to share some things that I feel have led to the diagnosis. They say that there's no rhyme or reason, but they think that, it's hereditary. Um, Mothers pass it to daughters. It can skip generation. It's brought on through some type of trauma, be it physical trauma, accident, surgery, um, um, emotional trauma, being in an abusive situation, relationship, um, just constant abuse of any kind, psychological, emotional, and those types of things have been said to have been like something that's led to people getting diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So for me, I have my own thoughts on what brought it out. Um, I had a coworker of mine, she was a nurse, and she shared with me, she said, most people that have fibro, they've always had it, and a lot of times it just lays dormant until something happens to bring it out. So I had to think back on it. I thought back like in my past, things that I've dealt with growing up, a lot of anxiety, stomach issues and whatnot, and just I just kind of thought, okay, but there was a time before I had kids, before anything like major trauma happened. Um, I noticed I noticed sometimes I'll have like this feeling and I have to think back to the past. Like, I do recall the slight feeling, the all over pain, but back then I could just go to sleep it off and get up and just do me. But after the trauma and after like right as I was close to getting the diagnosis, I was feeling the pain, but it was like long lasting. Like, it was not letting up, not after a nap, not after pain medication. It was just not letting up. I was just in a flare, which at the time I didn't know was a flare. The rheumatologist ran like every test under the sun, under the moon, whatever they say. And they couldn't find anything. Of course, I have like arthritis, like the basic stuff, did the MRIs, all the blood work, had like basic things that showed high inflammation markers, things like that. But as some know, there's really no true like diagnosis. That they use something called like a scale on certain areas. Like, if you have certain pain in these X amount of areas, then we can diagnose you as having fibromyalgia. But they kind of said that that wasn't true because it didn't really apply to everyone that was getting diagnosed, because some people didn't have pain. Like, for me, I have pain in all areas. Like, you can't touch when it comes to like when I would get massages. I have to like really explain to the massage therapist, like, oh, you can't touch me there. You have to like go around this area. But yeah, so everyone is different. And for me, those were some of the ways that I got my diagnosis. Is he did that scale. But yeah, they have other ways now, I guess. And that's another thing I want to learn and do some more research on, innovative things out there. They've had like 3 main medications, none of which worked for me. They have Lyrica, Cymbalta, like antidepressants, different things that I really gave an honest try to, and they never worked. I did the dietary changes. I did the cognitive behavioral therapy. I did like a lot of like resources that they deemed to be somewhat helpful. And one of my rheumatologists, I had a couple. One, before he retired, he told me, he was like, you know, I know we've prescribed these medications and none of them have worked, but just so you don't feel bad, because he could really see I'm just like teary-eyed, like not understanding why isn't anything working for me, like what is this. And he was just like, you know, to be honest with you, it was his medical opinion. He said, you know, a good amount, like it was really high. I want to say he was like 80 some odd percent of fibromyalgia patients these medications do not work for, which I was blown away. I appreciated his honesty. So, but then he proceeded to write out a script of natural remedies like magnesium, things that I can do, float therapy. And like I said, I've pretty much tried everything that has been recommended. The only thing that I have not tried as of yet is acupuncture and hypnosis. I think those are the only 2 things that some people say have worked that I have not tried. I have my reasons for not having tried the hypnosis and the acupuncture. One is like the fear of pain, even though they say it won't hurt or whatever, but I have my reasons. But this video is getting a little bit long and I don't want it to be too long, but I'll decide based on views and comments on what I will post next. But yeah, I just wanted to start the page off by explaining fibromyalgia, what I go through, me personally, and what I've heard other fibromyalgia sufferers go through and deal with. So I just want to start the page off with that, and then I'll just do random posts of my life and living with this condition. And I really don't do much because it's kind of tough, but I have been, over the years, I have been trying to push myself to do more, because like they say, a body at rest stays at rest. And even though it's hard, I just have to pace myself with things. But just want to show like a different like side of the ins and outs of how my days go, how my weeks go, months go, in dealing with this condition. So again, thank you for visiting my page. I hope that I can be of help, of inspiration to someone out there. There have been some individuals on my other social media platforms who have been inspirational for me. They've shared like different things that have helped, like aromatherapy, and just not feeling guilty for what you go through. And so there's quite a few people that I followed on another platform, not on YouTube, but on another social media platform. So yeah, I'm just gonna share on here, and hopefully I can get feedback And yeah, but hope everyone is having a blessed day, and I hope to check in here soon. Peace.